Hello, hello. How is everyone doing tonight?
Oh, we're starting?
Ooh, we
Yes.
here!
I looked away for a second.
Nope, you're good. Okay, I didn't. I thought you heard me. Um,
Nope.
Asta is coming. She is currently fighting a ghost and trying to get her door closed, but she'll be here in a minute. Um, um,
She haunted AF.
yeah, Blind is working, so when he gets off, he'll join us. He'll join us when he joins us. Not too worried about that one. And um,
Maybe all the rest of us are here.
yeah, we're here.
The
We're
ones that matter.
started. We're gonna get started. um, so I'm trying to think. I believe. Actually, I'll just open them and find out so that I can confirm for all of you guys. But I'm pretty sure YouTube is up to date. Podbean, our podcast I use to all up and running. I think is a couple of episodes behind. Hopefully, you guys are not experiencing a bunch of winter problems like some of us are as well. A few of us.
We had a cool front come by and it's like 60 out.
That's a cold front.
For Texas, yes, that's a cold front. It was in the 80s before that.
So yeah, YouTube is updated. Episode 110 went up Thursday, a few days ago. And then the podcast is a little behind. I'll probably work on that. Try and get that caught up as well. So that's really all the announcements I have for right now. And I think other than that, I'm gonna see who would like to do the recap.
Actually, I'd like to go.
Okay.
Oh, go for it.
Alright, so last time, I almost did a retro moment there.
I know, I heard it last time on D&D.
Yeah, he does that every time he does a recap, and he always does recaps for the groups he's in. Yeah. Yeah, so last time we got back to the city with both the 4 rescued people and the elves. The elves have been settled in, and we spent one more night there once we got components for spells and stuff. And then we got ready to go. And then we had one of the biggest fucking bombshells we've ever had on this show. Cardin, the one thing keeping the rest of us squishy ones alive, said bye-bye, fuck y'all.
That's not.
They didn't say fuck us, but, you know.
I know, but let me have the joke.
Okay.
So after a tearful goodbye and a heartfelt moment between us all, the remaining group set out. Fairly uneventful journey through the tunnels.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks of nothing but darkness, and it's just like, eh.
You ever feel like you're just walking in place?
I might as well lose my arms and legs and just start crawling on the ground.
That sounds painful.
Tell me how that goes. I'll see you at the end.
And we ended. We had 3 paths to choose from, correct?
The one we came from,
yes.
2 others branching off, and then a tunnel that went upward.
I can do a rough sketch while we wait on Asta to join us.
Yeah, pretty much. We went up, straight up. There's like a giant pit there.
And you basically got, there's like an opening here. Actually, no, that's not entirely. Get rid of this. And then you basically have the options of stairs here that basically go in like a kind of a pattern.
Nice.
Really cute.
Yeah.
Which one? Where did we
you
come
guys are
from?
currently here.
Okay.
But we also maybe, and this is just because this is a newsflash to you guys, we may be backing up just a little bit. Because Asta was not here last week, she did not have the opportunity to do any kind of roleplay or any kind of conversation with you guys as you guys traveled. So I was going to invite Asta, now that she has joined us, welcome, to kind of like if there was anything she would have liked to talk to you guys about, or any conversation or anything like that that you guys would have liked to do over the last 2 weeks effectively, that now would be a time. And I think what I will start with is by asking for everybody except for Asta's passive insight.
Hey, I was just looking at that. 15.
Because this will... Is this before or after the level up?
Before.
19.
14.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, everybody technically will be getting a level up. I just did not feel like doing a level up mid-session, so they got it a little bit early, but they don't officially gain those resources until, well, technically until they get to the next outpost, which is not yet.
Sorry, I can remember.
Sooner rather than later.
So 15, 19, DNOC?
14, actually. 14.
14?
Yep.
When you say passive insight,
Are you proficient in insight?
no.
Okay. What is your wisdom bonus?
1.
1? So your passive
11.
insight is 11. I don't feel like... You said your passive before the level was 15 or 14, Katya?
14.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say, Valinor would definitely pick up on this first, but Valinor, you would notice that Asta is probably even more kind of standoffish and like quiet, withdrawn than she normally is after Cardin's departure.
Okay. Might sound kind of bad, but Valinor probably wouldn't do really a whole lot different than normal.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
understandable.
the lady's gonna chat it up, so...
Yeah. I would say, and Asta, you'll have to tell me what you think about this, but I would say that that a Oh, that's I don't like that either for being underground. You'll have to tell me if you think a 14 would be high enough to pick up on your brooding, in a sense. Yeah, I think that one's
Like,
Push to talk, Asta.
I'm seeing it as Valinar's like, they just said, oh yeah, there's something definitely wrong with her. And then Conti is like, I think something's up, but not entirely sure. She's usually quiet anyway.
Asta. Archer, are you here?
Did you forget to charge your headset?
If you speaking, we do not hear you.
Push to mute.
Push to mute.
Okay, no worries.
Issues.
Yeah, having a little bit of a mic issue. Not a.
I feel like most of us are having tech issues today. Of some kind.
Yeah. I blame the weather.
I blame the weather too.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, sure. With your nice warm 60 degrees.
Warm. I've got the fans going inside.
Fuck you. I've got my heater set on 80.
I will go
Oh,
to
God.
my driveway.
I couldn't do 80. That's oof. That's
It's
too
mostly
warm.
because every single, like, 2 of my 4 walls are stone.
Oh. What are the other 2? Not stone?
Drywall.
That's an interesting combination.
I live in the corner room in the basement.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm fully a basement goblin.
See, that's something else y'all have that I don't. I've never been in a basement before. We don't have them here.
What?
Really?
Really? We don't have basements here.
Huh?
They would just flood real easy though. So probably best we don't.
That's why you make them flood-proof.
Yeah, that worked for Louisiana. That worked for Houston.
Okay, they had a fucking hurricane come through. You can't necessarily. That's like saying I had that's like saying I have a water bottle, therefore I can't possibly lose any water out of it. But like you're just constantly filling it without ever stopping.
I don't get the analogy, but all right.
So,
Nah, we don't have basements down here in the south, or cellars for that matter. Everything's above ground except for our below city sidewalks. We have some of those that go beneath Houston.
Can you guys hear me?
Yay!
There we go!
Oh,
Okay.
Mazel tov.
Can I break some glass?
Sure.
please don't.
It's yours. Oh goodness gracious my.
I already had to throw away my poor Bubba Gump glass earlier. I may or may
What
not have
happened?
accidentally shot it in the house. With
Okay.
an airsoft gun.
Okay.
Right.
Was that trying to get the ghost that was trying to get into your blood?
No, that was, hey, you don't know if I was trying to get in my blood. It's
More
not a
than
vampire,
likely.
it's a ghost.
Maybe it was a vampire ghost because it got bitten by a werewolf.
Sure.
Yep, that's
Seems
exactly.
very
how-
likely.
ROM logic processors just shut down on that one. Huh?
It has,
No,
it
but
has a taste
literally-
of zombie brains.
No, but literally, I got to Other Blind's apartment, and I had just got in here. I hadn't like locked the door, but the door was latched, and it just like blew open. And I looked, and no one was there.
Have fun with that.
You sure it was latched all the way? Because I know here, when my my hall door is right next to the air return, so when the air kicks on for any reason, if it's not latched all the way, it will open, and it'll terrify you.
I'm sorry. Since when can wind turn a doorknob?
I'm just saying, if it wasn't latched all the way, it
So you
could
know
be pulled
how
open.
so you know how wind can turn in a circle, creating
Okay,
a
sure.
vortex. They're also called tornadoes in some places.
Talking about ghosts and all this haunted crap, it's not the greatest thing that I've fallen into the chills rabbit hole on YouTube.
Been there.
For those of you who don't know, number 15, Burger King foot lettuce guy.
No idea what that is, but okay.
Me neither.
Human forever.
But no, yeah. When I lived in Arizona, they don't have basements there either.
What? To not have a basement.
I wish I had a basement, but at the same time, they're always haunted, so it's for the best.
I mean, you're not exactly wrong on that one. I live in a basement, and I guarantee you this basement is haunted.
Yeah, because you live there, right?
Alright, so now that Asta has a voice again, let's jump back on track, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, so, Asta, you'll have to tell me, do you think a 14 on a passive insight would be enough to like notice that you are kind of in a lesser brooding mood?
I mean, it depends. What am I basing it off of?
This is your character. I'm basing it off of Asta. Keep in mind, Asta, I don't believe, has the greatest charisma, which basically means her poker face isn't that fantastic. But she could be proficient in deception or performance. Either one of those, I feel like, would allow to have a pretty decent poker face.
By the way, did I get inspiration?
Of course.
Wanted to make sure of that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, her.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that her poker face is only a little bit better than the person playing her.
Okay.
So slightly
I
better
can't
than
tell from here,
non-existent.
so
I would say, if it was my call, I would say yes, but barely, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say by barely.
Okay. So Katya, you would basically pick up that Asta is being slightly different. Like, like when mealtime and stuff like that came around and you guys, gathered, made a fire or whatever, started cooking and things like that. She'd usually say like thank you, and like now she's barely even doing that, and you're kind of just like something's up, but you're not sure what. So you would pick up on that.
and since I barely pick up on it for the first week underground, I'll probably just assume that it's because she knows we have a long way ahead of us. It's dark and we're underground. Like, I get it.
Okay.
And then after that, it's like, okay, it's not getting any better.
Think about it though. Do you think a dwarf would not like dark little spaces like where we're at?
That would just be Katya projecting onto Asta.
Valinar is just kind of assuming it's because Asta's a girl traveling with 3 guys underground for her only company.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I mean, why wouldn't I put on my pretty face? Sure, I'm underground, but I still gotta feel like myself.
Well, do you
It's the
remember
only
what
comfort
happened
I've got
before
left.
you left? Do you
What?
remember? Do you remember what happened before you left?
Oh, I do remember what happened before I left.
Okay, because you went to a brothel. I
All,
just wanted to make sure.
all the more reason to be more feminine, to reassure myself I'm still into men.
Oh right, how am I dice gonna do today?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anyway, after the first week and things still haven't changed, how would you approach Asta?
I was thinking I might do it like casually and slowly edge my way over there while we're having a meal. So just a little bit closer, but not close enough that she could outright smack me. And I might lean over just a little bit and not terribly loud ask, "Is everything all right? Something bothering you?"
Talking to you, Asta.
Yeah, I know. Ugh, roll 20 is being an ass. Okay, I'll figure that out
What
in a
else
second.
is new?
That's what's bothering you? I don't quite follow. What is a roll 20? I mean, if you're referring to Valinor over there, I can kind of understand, but
By the way, Deanoch just doesn't even hear you, but he's still bop.
We already know that the mage hand breaks the fourth wall already, okay? Just
So
It's
where,
my favorite
where,
gag. Let me have it.
where are we at right now? Like,
Underground
we-
cave, probably.
I know that part.
Probably a week away from.
your destination.
Okay, I meant more literally. Are we sitting down eating? What are we doing?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. I said during a mealtime.
During a mealtime? Yeah, so you guys are eating currently.
Okay, and you just like kind of nudge me, or what? What did you do? I didn't quite hear you.
I approached cautiously, in a subtle way, without alerting too much attention, keeping my distance so as to not be within face punching range, and then I guess timidly asking if there's anything going on. What's on your mind? What's troubling you?
First, I just kind of grunt, and then I kind of make sure that no one else is listening because I don't really feel like talking to the group right now, and I'm just like, it's different without the large one, without Cardin.
Yes, having to say goodbye to Cardin was not ideal. It's a good thing this past week has been rather uneventful, because if we ran into trouble down here, it might be trouble.
I mean, the way I'm feeling right now, I'd probably just be able to kill in one hit, take out some anger.
I fully believe that. But it does seem a lot quieter without him being here. I'm used to... Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
without him and Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, above game, I was
this whole
gonna
week
ask.
has been very quiet.
It has. Above game, I was gonna ask what happened to Rock.
Cardin
I
kept
mean-
him.
Rock is Cardin's pet.
Right.
And
so
one day
he-
we're going to see him riding on the back of a grown Rock. Except at that point he'll probably change the name to Boulder. Just as
But yeah,
as irritating as his lack of common sense seemed to be, kind of miss it. I also miss the enlightenment of his big words once a day.
He may have been not the sharpest rock in the box, but he understood me more than the rest of you. He understood my need for violence.
I suppose that is something that you just can't relate to the rest of us about. I'm not a big fan of violence. I do what I have to. I'm sure we can relate on other levels. It doesn't have to always be about fighting.
What else is there?
Well, I mean, girl to girl, there's plenty to talk about. We could talk about men. We could talk about our plans for the future. We could give each other beauty tips. We could just make fun of the guys.
I do that anyway.
So do I.
Let me tell you, being in an enclosed space with everyone, it's really tempting to just throw a bunch of them across the rock walls and see if they bounce.
Are you talking about our comrades?
In fun, but yes.
Huh. I don't think I have the strength to throw anybody here. Honestly. Well, unless if I really wanted to with polymorph, maybe. But I don't see a need for that. Figure the more people I throw, the less people I have to hide behind when the shit hits the fan.
I just sort of shrug and I'm like, yeah, but there's just nothing else to do down here.
We could do some dancing.
She kind of just
Although-
eyes you, remembering the last time she did that.
You certainly had a blast doing it, and so did I. Though all this walking, as much as I'd like to dance, I don't think I could. My legs are kind of sore.
She nods and grunts, not really enjoying admitting that she did actually like dancing.
I mean, there's about 16 hours in a day, and if we only walk for about 8 of them, we sleep for 8 of them, then that means we have 8 hours of downtime that we could spend resting, talking, eating, maybe inventing new games?
Games?
Well, I know how much you like to target shoot. We could stack up a bunch of rocks and aim for that. Not much chance of losing any arrows that way, because where are they going to go? And who knows, maybe I can play along too.
She grunts and just goes, that could be fun. Would get my mind off some things.
And take out some frustrations. And keep your aim sharp. We might need it.
Exactly. As long as the rest of the boys don't get too close, they might not get... to make sure they don't get an arrow in their head.
Katya will eye Dinok and Valinar for just a moment over her shoulder. But not in like a subtle way, so that, it'd be easy for them to pick up that they're being looked at.
Valinar will just stare back but won't say anything.
I know it's difficult to say goodbye to a party member, but perhaps we'll meet someone new in the future. Someone else we can drag along and force to be our meat shield.
I just shrug and I go, but meeting new people is so annoying.
Yeah, I'm not terribly bothered by it. I enjoy meeting new people. It's It's been a little more awkward since, my magic blows up in my face all the time, and since my body has changed, it's been a bit uncomfortable, but I'm not opposed to it.
Not like you
I
were
guess
in
it
the
just comes
beginning.
naturally. What?
Not like you were in the beginning.
No, no, definitely not. The circumstances still suck, but it's been long enough. I'm adapting. I was so out of sorts when I first woke up in that dark cave, and now every day I wake up in a dark cave and it's the same people, and I just can't seem to get away from this situation.
I think we've all ruled out this just being a dream.
If this is a dream, I want to wake up. I miss my home.
I don't know, it's more comfortable actually being with people than just being on the run in a forest.
For a good chunk
And-
of the 10 years since my wife passed, it was just me and Zalpip in a lab. One-on-one-ish situations it gets to you after a while.
So, Valinar,
Hmm?
you spent time on the run
Yeah.
prior to all this. So, what exactly are you doing now? Aren't you still on the run just from something else?
Yeah, but I'm also not alone.
It certainly makes the burden easier to bear, doesn't it?
Yeah. I also don't feel like I'm going crazy every day. Now it's just every other day.
Relatable. I miss waking up early and having coffee and doing science stuff. And then going to bed in a nice comfy bed in a nice room to myself. And if I ever got bored, I could go and visit my family and talk with them and
What, you don't find a nice rock bed comfortable?
I don't think I ever will. Like I said, the circumstances still suck. I'm adapting, but I will never adapt that much. Even the cheap inns are better than this.
I suppose I'm just used to it. I slept on rocks all the time back home.
You are made of different stuff than I, Asta.
Isn't that clear?
You know, I am a little surprised you didn't elect to stay behind with Cardin.
It was a temptation.
I mean, you could have stayed with him, or chose to travel with us losers. And you chose the latter.
Well, Asta rolls her eyes like this pains her to say, but I will say, since joining this group, I have learned to trust and even like you guys. Depending on the day.
Aw. That's really nice to hear.
Careful, that almost sounded like a compliment.
Almost.
Hey, that's character development.
Yes, well, you better feel special because it takes a lot for me to trust anyone.
Fair. And we've had each other's backs a few times. I guess in a way, I suppose we are probably your best bet of getting back home, too. You are from Hofkeen, correct?
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Staying with Cardin, you'd be stuck on the surface. I don't know if you've got family or friends up in Hofkeen, but... or even a home?
To be honest, I'm not sure what's left of my home, but I would like to get back there eventually. See if any of my loved ones are even still alive?
You know, we could ask Zalpip, my mentor, if he can check on your place and family. If Valinar would relay the
Yeah.
message.
You got time, not like I can do much else with my magic than contact people. Or attempt to spy on people and have them see my sensor and scare the living hell out of me.
Sounds like a
Magic can be
blast.
bullshit sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
just part of the time.
I think Halloween with Valinar would be a blast.
Definitely be interesting. He'll use disguise self to make him look like a cat person.
Just don't go to any furry cons.
I thought we were already in the halls between.
What about those of you that are from these floating islands? What were they like?
Real quick, Asta, Hofkeen is a floating island too.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
I figured you
Oh,
forgot.
what are the other
but-
ones like?
Yeah.
We've been on
Okay.
the seas for a long time.
Let's rephrase. What were y'all's islands like?
I'll let Valinar take that question first.
Valinar?
What? Sorry, I'm trying to pull up notes.
Ah.
I didn't think this would come up, so I didn't pull these notes up. What the islands are like.
Well, Asta's never asked this question, and we're down talking. She finally figures why not actually try and get to know her party mates a little bit better.
You would have only basically picked up on things that you guys talked about in passing, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess for my island, it's religious and militaristic, I guess.
That sounds like a deadly combination.
Yeah, no, I don't. There's still a dream of taking the surface back. Everyone's trained to fight, more or less. Just very simple stuff, and then if we excel at one thing, we're taking only for specialized training. But
Does everyone from your island wear sunglasses all the time?
Even at night?
Not. I wouldn't say it's common, but it's not unheard of. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever told Asta. Or shown her. Valinar will just take off his sunglasses to show glowing eyes and go, "This is why I wear them."
Yep.
Oh!
You see that his eyes are glowing, kind of this faint, almost radiant-like energy. It's got a particular color to it, doesn't it, Valinar?
Yeah, it's like a forest green.
Yeah, so that's kind of like forest green that kind of gives off some magical energy. It's not like he opens his eyes and it's blinding light. It is just like very dim light.
And then he puts his glasses back on and just kind of goes, "And that's why I wear those."
Thought you were just going for the blind look.
No. No. from that, let's just, to put it mildly, I may or may not have beef with one of the major leaders up there. That's why I was on their run. Also, while Nadon, my mentor, is currently, what is he being? I don't know if he's being like killed every day and brought back to life, or just being extremely tortured. But he shudders, remembering the time he's cried on Nadon.
That does not sound like a fun way to spend your days.
Or nights.
Not much else I can really tell you. The fairly normal villages, towns. Not really much. Although we did have the chains, which, if you think back, you remember that house that fell from the sky?
While we were on the boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was from my island. We actually have a town that's literally hanging under the island by chains.
Well, not anymore.
I heard two people at once. I don't know what each of them said.
Denog asked for what? Like, why is there a town?
There, I don't know if it's in your notes or not, Valnar, but that area is for like the extremely impoverished. Like they're like the ultimate slums.
Like they're the people that society spit on and said, "Hey, no, you can't be here." That was kind of what I got from this.
So
Okay.
someone paid a shit ton of money to create a town under the island, which is a logistical nightmare of apocalyptic proportions.
Yeah, I mean, being fair, the founder was kind of accused of murder, and then essentially the gods said no, he's innocent, but society said no, he's guilty. So he ended up in this weird limbo, and so he bought a bunch of supplies, went down and started building a place to live under the island. Using chains and... Yeah.
I guess if you get banished from everywhere else on the island, all you can do is live under it. It's great until the islands decide to return to the surface.
Or until that bitch or people she works under decides to just start pulling chains. And that's it for me.
That's kind of similar to a place that I know from my island, except they just live in a scrapyard in the middle of a desert. A lot of people try to avoid that place. I think I mentioned it once before. Australia.
I don't think that's written in your notes. It doesn't exist.
Huh?
You don't have the down under. I don't remember. I didn't look at your notes.
It's something. I think it's something that we made a joke about during stream.
I mentioned it in passing. I said, you know what? Fuck it. It's gonna be Junktown from Overwatch. Or Junkertown. Sorry.
I guess we just didn't.
I'm pretty sure.
It's right here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how I said this before. Austria?
It's Australia.
It's
No,
pasta.
Australia.
Sure.
Austria's
Okay,
just
I have it.
a-
I see it now. I see it now. The shanty town of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sorry, I forgot about that. That's my error. Anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people try to avoid that town because it's not exactly safe. People there live a hard life, and they aren't afraid to commit criminal acts to get by on a daily basis. And as a matter of fact, I'm technically wanted there because daughter of a very rich and wealthy, powerful man that lives in the capital city of Oxenford. If I were kidnapped, they could hold me as hostage for ransom money, and that's no good. So I try to avoid that town too.
Not gonna lie, I love your use of wanted in that analogy.
What do you mean?
I'm wanted in that town. If I showed up, they would kidnap me.
Yeah.
That's basically what you just said.
Yeah. If I showed up and they knew who I was, they'd kidnap me and hold me for ransom.
Anyway. Does that answer your questions, Asta? Or did you have anything
I'm
else
not
to
done.
add,
That's
Katya? Sorry, my apologies.
yeah.
You know,
my-
Katya, I really find it easily to believe that you'd be wanted in several towns.
Well, when you're as gorgeous as me.
Roll deception. No, I'm kidding.
I'd roll persuasion first.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh. As for the rest of my island, we have a severe water shortage, have for several decades now. And it's all because of the technology that we use in Oxenford that has drained the life of our island. I'm not gonna lie, since we've been to Isserus, which is another island, you weren't around for that one. And then Hofkeen, they're not home. But I've been tempted to just want to pick up and move there and just start a new life entirely. One of those places where there's water and there's plenty, and it's a lot simpler.
Well, for Hofkin at the very least, we need to get rid of that fucking shit-stained bastard fucker mother.
Torben?
I just
Torben?
like to imagine Deanoch basically goes into a...
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel, Deanoch.
Actually, I heard dolphins spit.
That's how I feel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, we definitely owe Torben for the nonsense that he has put us all through. He killed me once. I gotta repay him for that. That was the one time that I died.
What you
I
got,
keep thinking you
brother?
died more than once, but you know.
I thought you were dead. I got better. Well, actually, no, he and I are even. We technically killed him first.
No, I guess
He was just returning the favor.
Tell me, Katya, did I ever ask you what it was like to die?
I don't think anybody did. I just kind of came back and you're like, okay, cool, welcome back. Nobody asked what it was like.
Well, what was it like?
Weird. Like, hang on, I still have the description in my notebook. Let me look back. do.
So glad he wrote it down. Because I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to make something up on the spot, aren't I?
When you have a note taker that's better than the DMs.
I am very much a DM that flies by the seat of their pants, and it works for me. You guys are telling an incredible story that I help create by making shit up on the fly, and so far it has worked out swimmingly.
You're just an improv DM.
Exactly. Isn't that what I said?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
do. Give me a few moments.
Your moment's up.
You got to go back to the physical notes for this one.
Yeah. Katya's like, I remember this happened. Where is it?
Hold on, I wrote down my death experience.
Ah! Found it. I was floating in a void, which doesn't make any sense because I've heard death described as there's a literal. You're met by an angel, and then there's like a literal afterlife. But all I got was emptiness. There was nothing, not even blackness. I don't even know how to describe that. There was just nothing, and I just floated there until there was a voice, and it was my patron at the time, back when I had that pact. He welcomed me there and informed me that this was a place where only beings of the original sorceress bloodline could go. So I guess that's my afterlife. And you're supposed to, you just wait there until you eventually go to the realm of the original creators, whatever that means. And then everything after that is just a blur, and I woke up on the surface next to Valinar.
You know, it was also kind of weird bringing you back. Because when I brought back Dinok's father, I think it was his father, I had a conversation with a Celestial about why he should be brought back to life, so on and so forth. But that didn't happen with you.
No?
No. Like, nothing. It was just like, you kind of snapped back, if that makes sense.
It's like I wasn't really dead, but more like stuck in a dream.
More like I didn't have to... can't think of the best term for it. I guess...
You didn't have to barter for my soul back?
Well, that's not quite the right term, but yeah. Where I had to eventually convince a Celestial to let Dinok's father come back. You were just more or less... It almost like, I guess I just kind of grabbed your soul and just threw you back in your body.
By the way, for our viewers, that was session 61.
Holy shit.
It's been that long! Considering we were almost to session 120, that was literally halfway through.
Anyway,
That is weird.
yeah, it was a weird experience thinking back on it now, Valinar.
Maybe it's different for everybody. I don't know. Maybe it's based on your perspective or who you follow.
Honestly, and this is me being really stupid forever ago. Valinar, you would also remember when Cardin died on top of the Doma Mountains. There would have been a similar experience during that time that you experienced during when you brought Dinok's father back. It wouldn't.
Okay.
It would not have been a snap back to reality like it was for Katia.
Okay.
And I apologize again. That was me just being extremely dumb, like almost 2 years ago at this point. Like, or at least it feels like it anyway.
I actually somehow forgot Cardin even died and I brought him back.
Same. I remember he only died during to On's Paladin when being tested there. I forgot about the Doma incident.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was like I said, the Doma incident was my fault because it was very much like, Valinar, do you have a diamond? And you were like, yes. I'm like, great, you cast Revivify, Cardin's back to life. We're ending the session here. Good night. that was basically how that session went at the end of that, and that's my own fucking fault, because it would have been like I should have ended it differently, and yeah, that's my fault. I apologize, and I will continue to apologize for that until we start a new campaign, or it's no longer relevant. So there is some additional information for you there, Valnar.
Okay. Then, well, I'll mention that to them as well. So, Gaudi, yours was just weird.
That was session 81. And it appears that all that was kind of just brushed over it. That was actually in the beginning of the session.
It shouldn't have been, but okay.
I mean, we fought Doma, and then, so maybe it was halfway through the session. Either way.
That could have been too, because then I would have. It doesn't matter. It was a while ago. Just we're moving on.
Yep. Reminiscing on the good old days.
The good old days where half the people we knew died.
But we're not still dead. We're back.
No, but if you die again, I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to bring you back.
No, but Denock can.
To a degree.
I don't know why, but my brain immediately went, how can Denock bring you back? Oh!
Oh yeah, Necromancer. I'd just be an undead slave instead. But I'd still be here.
That was... wow.
Sounds like you need to sleep in tomorrow.
That's not happening.
Let's sleep.
Exactly. I heard it's a mystical being, and if you can tame it, all of your wildest dreams will come true.
I would be to work at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
Ew!
That sounds awful.
Sounds like you're not sleeping tonight.
Like I said, who needs sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, sorry. First off, I kind of left for a bit there because Other Blind called me, but,
Is he good?
yeah, he's off work, but he stopped at Walmart to pick up some stuff for our dinner, but,
No worries. I knew he was driving. I just wanted to make... with him calling you, I wanted to make sure he didn't, like, slide off into a ditch or something like that.
Thankfully, no, but he was complaining about the dipshits in front of him going 5 miles per hour because of the slush on the roads.
Wow.
Oh lord.
You know, something that Mr. Texas doesn't have to worry about.
Not anymore, but I've had to do that before.
Anyway.
I don't miss it.
Uh-huh.
They were talking about their experience of death and dying, just to kind of catch you back up.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
since you asked.
Yeah, I was able to hear, like, half of it, so...
Cool.
Yeah, that's the only half you need to hear then.
Great. In other
We were
words,
just reminiscing about the good old days.
I say to Katya, in other words, it sounds like an experience that you don't much want to repeat.
And there's no guarantee that I'll have the same experience twice.
That is true. You want to test it?
No, I'd rather not.
Bring one person back. Don't have any spares.
I'm in done kind of thing, or does that reset?
Diamonds? You're a dwarf. You should know how diamonds work.
I meant bringing someone back to life.
He needs a diamond to be able to do that, and if he doesn't have any diamonds, and I've been dead for too long, that's it. Then I'll just have to be Denox instead. Do you know where to find diamonds down here?
I mean, we've got plenty of time. We could go digging for some.
We're underneath the ocean. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Aw. You're no fun.
I played Minecraft. I know what it's like.
What is Minecraft?
Would this conversation satiate your curiosity, Asta?
For now.
Okay. That's fair enough. But as a means of keeping this ball rolling, unless there's anything else that you can think of off the top of your head immediately that you want to ask, I think we'll go ahead and move on.
Okay.
Okay. So, timey-wimey bullshit, go! You guys are now at the situation where the X is.
Oh man, that was fast. Man, that week went by like whew.
Yeah. Unless there's anything anybody else wants to say over this week, the week passes, you could say, in a blink of an eye. And you guys are eventually left, or have the ability to kind of see the situation before you and decide what you want to do from here.
Well, the logical option would be to go up.
That's what
Unless
the
we-
vision said before it cut out.
I mean, unless we just want to try one of these other tunnels and see where that goes.
Here's a question. Do we have a question on that pearl left, or did we use both of them?
We used them both, I believe.
Right. Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have another 5 to go.
What was the second question? I'm trying to remember.
We looked for more information about the Illithid Elder's true nature, and we got to see Dinoc got to see the giant otherworldly brain with black tentacles.
Yep, that was one question. The second question was what?
Well, that was the second question. The first question was trying to find out more information about that strange wall that Katya blinked to the other side of.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And he got to see the same things I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Minus getting shot in the face.
Yeah, just trying to remind myself. Thank you.
Yep. That's what I'm here for.
So, you guys choose to go up the pathway, is that correct?
My vote.
I have spent far too long in this God's forsaken tunnel. I need to see the sun.
I just want to see something that's not a rock.
There's boulders down here too. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
I hope not.
Alright. So, you guys go up the pathway. Get rid of that. And eventually, the noiseless cavern gives away to a moment of silence before you guys begin hearing once again the sound of civilization. Kind of distant at first, but growing louder as you guys get closer and closer to the top of this kind of ramp that circles around. It does take a number of hours for you guys to get up here. It'd probably be close to about a 4-hour trek up.
Or 5.
Huh?
Or 5.
Sure.
We're walking at an incline.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told us last time.
Okay, if that's what I said, that's what I said. And eventually, you guys arrive at a kind of like a small guard deposit. There are 2 guards that see that currently have their backs to you, and as they hear you guys kind of approaching, they turn and immediately, armed with spears, wearing kind of these like I don't want to say heavy armor, but like medium to like the heavy side of medium armor. And one of them kind of a humanoid or human-ish individual. It's hard to tell with the face mask on his head. Kind of points at you and just goes, "State your business."
Travelers from...
I mean, it just seems obvious. Just seems obvious. We came from a one-way tunnel, up some stairs. We gotta be traveling from somewhere. Don't tell us a certain route, because that was a long 2 weeks down there.
He kind of looks at you and kind of just he kind of where are you coming from?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Name
That's
of
why
the
I'm
previous city.
Kofalan, but yeah, okay. Do you have
Is
the
it
proper?
Colophon or Kofalon?
Do you have the proper documentation?
How
We
about
also
these badges
pull
that
out
let
the
us pass through?
badge.
Yeah.
Multiple people spoke at once. Say again.
We all said about the badge, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Showing this individual the badge, they kind of take it, look it over, and just kind of make, examine it, basically making sure that it is what it is. I'm going to just give him a roll just to be sure. Good job, dude. And he goes, okay, I'll take those from you guys, and I suppose on behalf of... Well, I want to double check the name before I fuck it up. Where? Yep. And kind of goes, what would it be? By invitation of Thurgoal, and on behalf of Thomas, I welcome you to the Chimera Heights Outpost. Enjoy your stay.
Chimera Heights. Is that indicative of the local fauna?
Not anymore. And they gesture you into the city.
Oh, good. That means it's safe. Hopefully.
As far as we know.
So is Thomas like their leader or something?
I suppose we'll find out.
You could have surmised based off of the way that the name was used. He's at the very least the individual who runs the outpost.
Well, it's certainly easier to remember than Thurgal? Targual?
Making a mental note for later.
Even you messed it up a couple times. You're like, what was his name again?
Because I had to go find it in my notes.
Fair enough. You are the DM, you've got to balance all these different names. I don't envy you.
Huh.
God
Anyway,
forbid he name a character he can actually remember.
I did, Thomas.
Or pronounce half the time.
Yeah.
You guys aren't getting nothing but Thomases the rest of this campaign.
Good. Easy to remember. They're all named Thomas.
Thomas told us that Thomas was trying to arrange a meeting between the Thomases. Oh god. Would that have been great? Isurus? Sorry. Thomas Land.
The Thomas Musketeers.
Anyway,
The Tom Musketeers!
I love it.
As you guys kind of begin leaving the tunnel and entering into the outpost proper, there's a surprising amount of people in this area. Once you actually are exposed to a very similar situation from the Kofalan outpost, where you guys appear to be under some kind of a mountain, you presume, with, soaring high ceilings that you can't necessarily see the top of. There are many buildings around that kind of house people, different shops. You see a few streams of smoke indicating black smithies or forges once again.
Question.
Yep.
How is everything lit?
So, kind of like with the Kofalan area as well, whenever you look for a light source above, you don't necessarily see it, but everything seems to be kind of lit and shifting from some sort of direction. In terms of how I'm actually lighting these areas, if you would have to investigate the actual ceiling of the area to even begin to be able to learn how it's being done.
I'm going to make a guess.
Okay, I will allow you to make I will allow an Arcana check with a very high DC.
I wasn't even going to be a roll. It's just going to be.
Oh, you just gonna guess? Okay. Oh, by the way, as you guys,
he's not even actually trying it. He's just like, based on this and that, it's this probably. Okay.
Yeah. So
also, the dragon from the advanced civilization, where they literally have a weather dome and an artificial sun, is asking how they're lighting this cavern.
Not a lot of technology down here, and magic is already relatively low to begin with. But
oh, okay, I suppose that's fair.
Entering into the threshold of the outpost, the sound goes off, the noises of entering and discovering a new location kind of go off in your HUD, and you guys all experience a level up.
Oh!
So very quickly, I would like to for us to just briefly go over what everybody gained during their level up. You don't have to go into specifics, but just whatever you guys picked up in terms of overall usage and stuff like that. Maybe how much your hit points went up by as well would be helpful for those watching from home.
We should go down the line.
Sure, we'll start with wait, which line? I have two different lines. We'll start with Valinar. That's the screen I'm currently looking at, is my Roll20.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I rolled a 5 for HP, so I gained 7 HP total. Gained 1 proficiency and access to level 7 spells. And since clerics are weird, I technically know all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just chose to have Regenerate as my prepared spell for now.
Very cool.
Neato.
You gained a proficiency?
Yeah, we all did.
Oh, your proficiency bonus went up. Okay, that's what.
Yes.
My
Oh, cool, yeah.
apologies.
My bad.
No, I was just a little confused, but that makes way more sense. So,
Okay.
all right, Dina.
Wording was weird.
Yeah, no worries.
Dinox gained only a marginal health increase. Rolled middling.
Was it a 1?
No.
Oh, sad day.
Was it a 2?
Like I said, it was middling. 4.
Oh,
Okay, see, that's better than I was doing.
So, with my +3, came out to 7, which is pretty good. For a D6. and gain some fun spells I think I'll enjoy. Including one that may make our lives infinitely easier. But we'll see about that one. I'm talking about the teleport spell.
We'll see.
You win with
Also-
that? Oh crap.
Oh, I mean, it's whatever.
Okay.
You guys, also keep in mind, if anything requires a material component, you guys still do have to acquire that material component for now. Just let me know if there are things that you need for those though, and I'll make sure that they're somewhat available depending on where you guys are.
I made sure to steer clear of anything that required material items.
Neat. Speaking of which, Katya, you're up.
Yes, to stack on to our added proficiency bonus, that also increased our spell attack to hit and save DC as well. I get another sorcery point because that's how sorcerers work. And I got 2 new spells because I traded out an old one that I didn't use much, which is Enervation. Considering how many times we've come across undead or creatures that are pretty much immune to necrotic damage, I wasn't finding much use for it. So, traded that out for Prismatic Spray, which is like big boy version of Chromatic Orb. And another spell that, since Deanoch already dropped it, I was going to, I was going to keep a secret until something happened, but yes, I went with Teleport as well. And I think that's it. Oh, HP. Yeah, our generous DM.
Well, you rolled like 1-1-1, like it was dumb.
I rolled garbage! Like, my first roll was a 1, and you're like, we roll ones. Okay. I rolled a 2. Give it another 1. Okay, so I rolled another 1. Finally, I have a D6 to choose from, and I kept rolling 1s and 2s. So I eventually reached a 5 and gained 8 HP. I'm now at 90.
I think that's also what Deanoch is at, isn't it?
Yep.
That's fun.
Sweet!
What did I miss?
They're talking about what they gained from their level up. Welcome back, by the way. It's your turn to say what you gained from the level up.
Well, I just
This
see
is
that Rowan put in let Asta 1v1 that challenge. Leave me out of it. But I lost audio for a second. I don't know what the heck just happened.
Well, that was from forever ago.
Oh.
Like that,
Yeah, no.
That post
That's
was almost for an
whenever
hour
we were-
ago.
That's whenever you guys were like,
When you called out the DM by saying you could one-shot something.
yeah.
Interesting.
But no, I lost audio for a bit, so I don't know what happened.
They were just talking about what they gained from their level up. It's mostly been just HP, a couple of spells, that kind of a thing. It is your turn to share what you gained from your HP, though. Or from your HP, from your level up, though.
Oh. I got
Also,
some fun. Is it on here?
did we just get our... Yep.
Give
Second
them a-
blind?
give them a
Yes, you
couple
did.
minutes.
Is
Oh no, his name says Cardin Vengeance.
Oh.
Gonna have to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Can you just change it to DEAD for right now?
Where
So-
is settings? There we go.
It's the
You
little
know,
gear
D-
icon.
DEAD just stands for didn't even actually die.
Or is his name now Thomas?
No. So,
Glorg.
Austin,
Alright.
Austin, what did you gain?
Glorious. I got a fun new spell that I can't wait to try later.
Yeah, and you gained
Oh.
some pretty decent hit points, if I'm not mistaken. I think you gained, like, what, 10?
Yeah, but you wanna know what's wrong with it?
What?
I don't have an even number now.
Well, I can attack you and fix that problem.
Or just give me one extra for fun.
How about we just subtract one for fun?
No.
Look,
Okay, then settle.
wait, why? Okay. I already did a fun thing for HP for blind. I don't feel like I should do it for another. We'll talk.
Lame.
So I have a question. Did you choose not to pick up a 4th level spell and you just chose to pick up another 3rd? Is that what I'm understanding?
So here's the deal. We did like the little level up like thingy that Roll20 has, and it only had me choose one spell, which other blind also thought was strange.
Okay. But you understand that that's not exactly how it works, so you can technically, because you do technically now have access to 4th level spells, you could have technically picked up a 4th level.
Well, I will have to look into that later then.
Neat. Tell him to help you.
4th level, that's it?
Yeah, they're a half caster. They don't get anything above 5th, so...
I hit stuff hard, I don't need spells as much.
Yeah, for real. I mean, she hits as hard as some of your high-level spells, so...
So ha.
Yeah, that's fair. Except she has no limit other than her ammunition that seems to be infinite.
Well, yeah.
Is it? That's the ultimate I got. The vision sauce? Yes, it's Am I still on the sound? Don't read myself.
Yeah, no.
Hey, I can hear both blinds now.
Yeah. Alright, so, with that being done, obvious Glorg, really? Okay. Obviously, Glorg doesn't have anything to share for his update because he doesn't have a character at the moment. But he will be bringing one in later.
Is he named Glorg?
No. If you guys... You guys have a few minutes. Is there anything you guys would like to do, or kind of look into while you're here at the outpost, or are you guys going to kind of immediately leave?
Oh, we're gonna explore it a little bit, because...
Oh, how many rations did we go through while we were down there? Valinar?
Well, yeah.
Well,
How many times did you...
Probably none, unless Create Food One was differently than what I remember.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm not sure. Honestly. It might just be with the multi-grain peanut thing.
So,
Or unless one of us eats more than enough food for like 5 people.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
15 people.
think we had that problem. I don't think we had that problem, so... We're not trying to feed Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, so no rations, gotcha. That makes life easy. I suppose what might be a good idea is see if we could try and track down the city leader, announce our arrival, and see if we can get a bearing on where we can go from here.
Remember, we're looking for... probably the pit that Hofkeen came from.
We're also looking for a giant flying fortress that's supposed to be near said pit. I don't know, do we want to share that
That's where I
information with the
was.
leader?
I would...
I hate to ask, but how big is said pit if a flying continent came out of it?
Probably the size of a continent.
Dinok, how long does it take to walk from one side of your island to the other?
Great question, Mega Man.
Probably. Well, a lot of your stuff is very localized. And so one side of your island to the other side of the island is going to be different than from like one side of the town to the other side of town. I would say it'd probably take you the better part of a day to walk from one side to the other side of the island. And, you know, several hours from one side of town to the other side of town.
I mean, we could use the distance from Hofking proper to the wherever the fire giants were, because that was kind of towards the edge of the island, if I remember correctly. We could use that as a reference point.
So to give you guys just heads up on what's going on, Valinar has to be up for work in like 4 hours, so he's dipping.
So he's gonna get a nap
early.
in at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Fuck his job.
Right. That's stupid. Anyway.
Like 4 fucking a.m.
Do not
Nope.
miss that. Do not miss that.
So you said about pretty much a day?
That would have been correct.
Oh,
Okay, I have no idea how. I know a lot about circles, but I'm not going to try and do anything off the top of my head here. But I would estimate if we were to walk the entire perimeter of that pit, it would probably take us close to 3 days, at the most, to find the Laputa without some kind of guidance. Does that sound about right?
Oh, good approximation.
I don't feel like that's how math works, but okay.
That's
Well-
just Denock being like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'm pretty
what
sure that's
say-
not. I'm pretty sure that's not how math works, but you know, my brain says
Any of us really know how math works.
yes. But anyways, like if it takes about 1 day to go straight across, and we calculate pi in there, so we could just estimate about 3 times the amount. It would take about 3 days.
Also, just want some pie.
Anyway. Potentially. Where was this conversation going? Oh, that I don't
No
know.
idea.
Well, we were trying to
How
figure
big
out
is the pit?
how big is the pit, and do we need any guidance? Like, maybe somebody's already seen it, so we have an idea of which direction would be the fastest way to go. Or we could just walk around and find out. No, it's Hofking.
Let me see. Do I have artwork on here for this? I don't. I don't have anything. Oh wait.
The fact that he says well and checks his artwork makes me think it might be hell.
All right. So I can show this to you guys. This is
That's Hofking.
Yeah, up above. If you guys remember, you guys landed somewhere in like area 5. So if you assume that the islands do not
I thought it
rotate-
was Thunderfall Forest.
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys were somewhere in between 4 and 5. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to go back.
I am like 95% sure it was
Okay. I believe you.
Thunderfall Forest itself.
Oh, wait, there's an
Sounds alright.
There's a north and a south there. So yeah, you guys would have been much closer to the Thunderfall Forest. So assuming that the islands don't rotate, you being close to the Thunderfall Forest, you guys would be somewhere on the southern side of the current continent. Where your Laputa would be, because it's not like it's gonna have lifted from it's not like it's gonna have lifted from the south side and flown across the island to then drop down on the other side of the island. It would have gone to the closest route and then descended from there.
But are we accounting for the knowledge of the technology, the drift of the island, the rotation rate, and the speed of descent, air resistance? Go ahead.
I'm just pointing out facts. You guys were the ones having the conversation about how to get to the Laputa.
Yeah. So I'm saying there might be somebody around who may have seen it descend. There may be somebody around who at least knows the right direction to travel once we get out of here, get above ground, or we could just try and figure it out on our own without our usual guide to lead us.
You guys are also in unknown territory now.
Exactly.
Well, I would like to at least try to find a map, if we can finagle one. Maybe get some direction from that. Maybe ask a few questions about things coming from the sky.
Do you think they might have a library here?
Given the size of this place, maybe.
That might be a good idea to check out first, then, if we're not going to try and track down the city leader.
I suppose we can try.
So are you going to be looking for the city leader or a library?
Library.
Okay.
Library.
I'm trying to think what they would have here. It would take a little bit of time, but you guys eventually would find a small building that is basically a library. It'd probably be something closer to an old person with a massive collection of books. That allows people in the area to check them out and read them, and that kind of a thing. And you're specifically looking for a map?
Yeah.
Okay. The old lady who kind of runs this shop, if you would, kind of just maps here. Thomas keeps most of them in his office.
Should have seen that coming.
If
That's
there
how
is
it normally
one,
goes, it seems.
Yeah, most of them are used for planning and defensive strategies, and as well as potential new outposts, I suppose. Sorry, I couldn't be much more help, dearie.
No, that's fine. It's.
And the lady pats you on the probably on the arm.
Does she offer me a Walther's candy?
No, but she does say, "Oh dear, your arm is extremely dry, young man. You should put some ointment on that."
I don't think there's any amount of ointment that can cure that.
I am a reptile, ma'am.
Huh?
I lean in close so she can see my scales.
Oh, goodness me, I'm terribly sorry. I'm going blind in my old age. Sorry about that. And she'll
Well,
kinda...
at least you didn't. At least you said it out of concern for me. Unlike some who would make fun of that.
Like who?
He specifically gives you the stink eye.
Thomas would keep most of the, if there are maps of the area in his office due to like kind of planning and things like that. So
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't let us borrow a map, all you have to do is take one look at it, study it for just a minute, and you will have it memorized.
Well, we'll
Let's
see
just
how
hope he's-
far we can get.
Let's just hope that he's willing to let us take a look. If he guards his secrets close, we'll send Asta in. Quietly. Wink.
Ignoring that, shall we find this Thomas?
But of course.
okay. It's pretty easy to get directions to his office area, and they'll show like somebody will show you to the door, and when you arrive, he'll kind of you guys will be meted as you guys kind of knock on the door and open the door. You see a like a suntanned man in his late 40s, clean shaven, but wearing like some dirty clothes and a rough pair of leather armor with a rapier at his side, on his hip. Kind of stands pretty tall. He's about 6 foot, and he kind of greets you guys with a smile and just kind of says, "Well, hi there. How can I help you today?"
He sounds
you
an awful lot like Thorwall.
No, he does not. Thorgal was much heavier on accent.
Anyways, yes, are you Thomas by any chance?
I am.
Wonderful. We're from. We're from Kofalon Way, and we were wondering if, by chance, you had a map to spare. If not, one we could study before we take off. We're here on a mission.
All right. You know, what seems to be the fire, I guess. Like, what seems to be got you guys in a hurry?
We're homesick. Dreadfully homesick. And our homes happen to be around these parts. We've found ourselves on the other side of Colophone for quite some time, and we're just heading back.
All right.
If you, do you need me to roll anything?
I mean, he doesn't really have a reason to not believe you or
Okay.
anything, so I'm gonna say no for right now, just because what you have presented him with is not outlandish.
Not completely inaccurate.
But yeah, so he kind of like, I don't really have anything you guys can have. I do have something you guys can look at.
That is more than enough.
Okay.
We just really need to get a bearing, so we know which direction to head.
Alright, I am attempting to find. I'm attempting to give you guys a visual, so bear with me for just a moment here. Got it. Gotta edit this real quick. What?
What?
What was that?
I don't know.
Sorry, that was.
Kinda.
Was it a spider?
No, I just heard a noise from outside that was loud enough to go through my headphone.
Oh. Outside the basement?
I've got a window, an emergency window.
Okay.
Meaning my ghost is paying you a visit.
Yeah,
Oh?
maybe.
It's visiting over the internet? That's one hell of a ghost.
That or the ones that are here are just now finding new ways to fuck me over.
Isn't it, though?
Well, you guys have. You guys, he will show you a map. I don't have a way of.
So is it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Have I been wrong about the? Have I been wrong about the name of the city this whole time? Is it really Kofalon or is it Colophon?
Kofalon.
Yes.
Yep. Damn, I'm
Like-
looking for something.
Kofo-lon.
KF.
Okay.
KOFOL. AN?
Owen, yeah.
Kofalon. I could have sworn it was the other way. Okay. Let me
Maybe
see if I can figure out how to
something
replace
up.
everything.
Okay, here's.
I thought that's how. I'm pretty sure that's how the DM sent it in the chat.
Fucking finally found the map I was looking for. Let's see. This is technically. Sorry, I'm terribly sorry about this. I don't know why I didn't think things through.
You know that every single instance I will always ask for a map.
I know, but this was like one of the few things that did not cross my mind when prepping for D&D. I'm usually much better about this shit.
Just write yourself a note. Denox looking for maps.
Give me a moment. I'm almost there. I need handout. Photo. Okay. Here you go.
Oh damn, that's
it's
a big round area.
It's the best I can do right now. I'm gonna work on creating. I'm gonna work on making this a page that we can look at. And in fact, I'll start working on that now.
So where are we?
So you guys are in the bottom left-hand corner.
At that mountain?
Yep, there's a mountain right there. You can see on stream where I was circling at. So.
Darn, why couldn't we be up north? It's fine.
It'd be too easy. No, I mean not really, but.
Oh, so that's where we need to go. Okay, gotcha.
No. That's not actually where you need to go. Here we
We had a little more information about where exactly around this circle
I
we
mean,
could find.
if you hadn't straight up lied, we could have.
It's a
There we
circle,
go.
just go around.
I have made the map. You guys are currently like here-ish. So don't worry too much about most of these other things. I'm working on stuff. So yeah, that's where you guys are kind of currently at. And again, I'm working on making sure that you guys things are labeled for you guys. So yeah, this is what he would show you. It would be this. He would be able to show you guys this map, and be able to tell you that you guys are currently at Chimera Heights, which I want to get. I really wish I could make this as a picture and put it where I fucking want it to be. I literally cannot put it where I want it to be because it won't let me make it a picture for whatever reason. So good enough. Yep. So you guys are currently at the Chimera Heights, which is a mountain range. In case that wasn't already clear enough.
Ooh, mountains.
And he would. Is there any other landmarks or anything like that that you guys would like to try to get out of him?
Well, I mean, all my information gathering was going to be about Laputa, but...
Well, I mean, we said we were heading home. We didn't specify that our home was a flying fortress.
Yeah, but now
So
if
it's not a
I ask
complete-
about the flying fortress, then we're going to get some uncomfortable...
We can ask about objects that may have come from the sky recently, though if they all live underground, they might not know anything.
Good luck.
Or we could ask if there's been any unusual happenings in the area. That way, we can be prepared for the journey ahead of us.
You guys tell me.
I'll ask if there's been anything unusual that has happened in this region as of late. You know, catch us up on the news since we've been gone for so long.
Well, since you are accustomed to the area, can't say there's anything out of the ordinary. You big beasts have been through. I mean, there's been some strange-ish happenings over in the. I don't know why I put this away. Over in the volcanic tips, but we think it's just the mountain getting a little active.
Volcanic tips, you say?
Yeah, you're aware of them, right?
Refresh my memory. It's this spot here at the northernmost point, correct?
Can you roll?
Can you see up?
Ooh, what would this be? I don't want to say. It wouldn't be this. I'm gonna say performance for this one. Roll performance for me.
Sure. I mean, I'm looking at the map. It's like it's the only other 19. It's the only other mountainous region on the map. So,
Other than
well, those are islands.
Yeah, those are like small
Yeah.
islands, but yeah.
but who's to say those aren't volcanic? I mean, honestly, deception versus insight at this point.
No,
Katya is full on lying.
Well, he got it. He technically got it correct, so I'll give that to him.
Sweet.
But he also just barely succeeded. And he kind of just goes, Yeah, other than that, no, nothing too out of the ordinary. Just the typical kind of hunting groups and monstrosities mulling about.
Volcano tips have been more active. You mean like rumbling or new creatures showing up there?
Earthquakes is is kind of our best guess and assumption. It takes quite some time to get out there, so the information is always a little delayed.
Fair enough. And since you've got a lot of hunting groups out and about, they haven't seen anything else out of the ordinary.
Not that anyone has reported. Where are you all heading to?
Okay. At this point, Denock will speak up. We've been given some information from a magical source about a floating fortress of some kind. We were wondering if you had any information on that.
And here I was trying so hard to try to keep that under wraps.
Look, if we...
I just didn't want everybody to know that we're not just the ordinary travelers, but we're actually trying to protect these lands.
Nothing too out of the ordinary. In terms of your floating fortress, I haven't heard anything directly about a floating fortress. But man, I don't know how long ago that was. Maybe probably close to a month ago at this point.
Ding, 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 ding.
What?
I mean, is that about roughly the time we've spent on the surface?
Oh God, I think. I literally am looking. Yeah, you guys have been on the surface for a little over a month now.
Wow.
Yep. So yeah, he said about a month ago there was some of the animals kind of wet east of the sorry, I got something in my eye. Kind of east of the Thunderfall Forest kind of got in a little bit of a tizzy about something. It settled down rather quickly, though. We didn't look too much into it just because it was, nothing major that we knew.
Thunderfall Force, understood.
Is that clearly labeled on the map?
Yeah, it actually would be that one.
How'd you know? Was that just a guess?
Because Rom's good with maps.
Oh, wait a minute. Where was that other map? I closed it already.
Yep.
Apparently my headset.
Thunderfall Forest.
What did you say,
Oh, it's
Asta?
not my headset. It's my computer. Great.
Frickin'
Awesome.
Max.
Wasn't it the Thunderfall Woods on Hofkeen?
No, it was Thunderfall Forest.
Oh, it was. Okay. I closed the map, but I do remember seeing that. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. Gotcha.
So it
Except
looks
for
like
one.
Asta is also having technical issues right now. So
Except for one problem here. Thunderfall Forest would have been to the southeast, not the southwest.
Neat. It's almost like islands can gyrate.
So the reference point that you put as the north point on the island isn't actually true north.
For the current location of the island itself, yes. The problem for you guys is the islands are slightly different in their their kind of rotation. They're not the rotation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. If you
So the map that you're showing is actually how it would line up on this map, give or take.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The floating islands do technically rotate in a kind of a gyrating way, but it is so slow that it is practically unnoticeable. Like it would require basically an elf with keen mind to live hundreds of years to even notice that the location of true north has changed over their lifetime.
Okay.
So that's yeah. So yeah, it's not much. So yeah, that is what it is, and Asta is currently having problems with her computer. Fantastic.
I mean, this section of forest also lines up at the edge, though. So
Which one? Up there?
this one up at the top right, yeah.
Could be another forest. I don't know.
That could also be the Thunderfall Forest. So I guess we'll check the closest one first.
If you ask, he will tell you that this is the Thunderfall Forest.
Okay, I'm just not familiar with that part of the island.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, yeah, it's a little east of the forest there, but yeah, otherwise, it's about the only thing I can think of that might be a tip for you. And I would say it's probably about this time. You guys would begin to hear kind of a commotion within the outpost. Commotion, like people beginning to murmur and gather and like talk as people kind of begin to like go towards like what you would assume is like the entrance of the an outpost.
Okay.
And Thomas is gonna make a perception check. Yeah, nice roll. And he's kind of gonna be like, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. We'll have to, you'll have to excuse me. And he's gonna begin rolling up. And he's gonna roll up the map and kind of put it away in his office, and then he's gonna kind of be like, and kind of usher you guys out, and close the door behind him. And he's gonna be heading, and he's gonna begin heading towards that the commotion. What do you guys wish to do?
Well,
Honestly, what does the commotion sound like?
Excitement. People seem to be excited about something.
that sounds interesting then. Sounds like something we should check out. I mean, it doesn't sound like anybody's in danger right now, but
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Okay. So, one difference that you guys actually notice as you guys are beginning to make your way following the crowd towards a very, towards this, the entrance of this mountain, there's actually kind of a massive kind of like opening in the side of the mountain with like these huge kind of like wooden gates that are made from incredibly thick trees, it would appear. And the gates are currently being pulled open. They're using a variety of beast of burden and other men kind of pulling on ropes to pull these gates open.
Hey!
And you guys...
God.
Oh, they're back. Yay!
Really loud. Yeah, well, I'm having to join on my phone because my computer's being an asshole.
Okay,
So.
well, slap the other blind and just make sure he's paying attention for me.
Okay.
And you guys kind of watch as the crowd is excited, talking excitingly and whispering about a variety of about what seems to be coming in. Looking out into what you guys would see, you guys would actually see being pulled by sorry, I'm trying to think. Probably some very large, kind of beefy-looking oxen, currently like digging into the ground, pulling behind them a kind of a massive wagon. And on the wagon, you guys actually see this huge, excuse me. This huge creature. It is. You guys are almost at a loss for words, kind of looking at it. It has like four kind of massive legs that it probably once used to propel itself forward, with a lizard-like kind of body and head kind of formed into like this overgrown lizard with this kind of like massive head. The head itself looks to be probably about 3 feet across between the eyes, and it's lying on this this wagon. The coloration of this giant lizard is like this dark green color, like it's dark green, and this kind of like almost like a frill kind of around its neck, being this kind of like off yellow color. You would imagine being in a forest of some variety would be pretty difficult to spot this creature, despite its massive size. And it looks... I mean, it's dead for all intents and purposes. You guys cannot see any sight of it being... still being alive. And standing on top, kind of in a, not necessarily like a victory pose, but just kind of like standing on top, kind of probably arms crossed, just approaching on the top of this creature on this wagon. You guys see, this person. I'm now going to ask Blind to describe what you guys see.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
You good, bro?
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I'm really being great.
You get it fixed?
I think I'm picking up on...
Yeah, let's just mute. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Perfect.
There we go. Thank you. Basically on top of this creature, you see a very pale-skinned, fairly tall, not fairly pale-skinned, very pale-skinned, fairly tall being with white hair and sort of purple eyes, fairly long white hair and purple eyes, with a sort of like a breastplate and then just like a long black cloak, and it almost is like he's just surrounded by darkness. Very triumphant looking, basically. It's also he has like a cloak, but then he also has the armor is sort of mixed in with the cloak. So it's like a part cloth, part just normal like breastplate adherent. But on him, like, you see a sword, but it's nothing special. You see a bow, but it's nothing special. Like, he looks like he's a very, like, he's triumphant, but he's sort of like this very generic fighter.
While still being a relatively seasoned warrior.
Yeah, like, he looks like a seasoned warrior, but it doesn't, like, he just looks like a very, very dark, fighter. Like, he's just wearing all black. It's almost like he's, like, either trying to go back into the shadows or coming out of them.
So he's Batman.
He looks like he's trying to be a rogue. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, sort of.
Sure, sort of. I guess.
So how do we know he's coming?
Vibe. You're saying he's wearing all black. Edgelord rogue.
He not only edgelord rogues wear all black. This dude, like, it doesn't look like a rogue's armor. It looks more like a sort of like a Dark Knight or a Vampire Knight's armor.
He's a vigilante.
I am Batman.
I like it.
And as they continue to approach, you'll hear people in the crowd kind of be like, sorry, I gotta grab. Like, it actually is. Did you land on an actual name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Xenos.
Okay, because I know you were going back and forth. So
Yeah. No.
So
yeah, I'm definitely not going with Glorg.
yeah. So they actually will say, like, you know, Xenos has actually returned. Wow. When was the last time he was in in Chimera? It's been a very long time, and they're just like talking about this figure standing atop of this massive lizard with some pretty high renown.
I'm imagining the first scene of Fairy Tale when Urza approaches with the giant monster horn.
Kind of. Except he's writing it, but yeah.
Right.
Or like Gildart's coming back almost.
Yeah, when Gildarts comes back, oh, he's been gone for like 4 years? And they rearranged the entire freaking city to accommodate him.
Yeah. Not quite like that for this individual, but he is definitely well known at the very least. And they dragged this wagon inside of the outpost and begin to close the gates behind. And you'll actually see Thomas approach Xenos and be like, and just begin striking up a conversation with him. And you'll see as other people will kind of come forward and kind of begin guiding these beasts that dragged this creature in off to another location within the outpost, in a with probably the intent of salvaging what they can from the creature. Xenos, you would basically be told, like, you know, welcome back, great job, difficult hunt, and your answer, as always, is not really.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, he's... When he's asked, as you're saying, he'll be like, not really, but at least this was a big one.
Understood. Well, welcome back. I imagine you won't be here long before setting out on another, but at the very least, rest up, you know, stay with us to dine. We brought in quite a haul. It'll be quite a feast tonight.
Yes, I will. I will try. I will stay for at least to partake in my offerings.
Oh, that's a natural 20. He will also, talking to you, Xenos, and just kind of be like, by the way, there's some new faces in town.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what to think of them, but they didn't start off on the greatest foot, but I think they mean well. Maybe you can figure out a little bit more about them. They got a black dragonborn traveling with them. You can't really miss them.
We will
And
find the. We will find this group of peoples.
I don't remember
And
what
then-
your passive perception is. Go ahead, Dina.
It's 16.
No, and then Thomas just looks behind him and is like, "Oh, they're right there."
It would appear we are in the presence of greatness. To have such a hero's welcome on returning to home.
I would not.
Keep it in your pants, Katya.
I
What?
would not consider myself. Great. Alright. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That blind archer just hit a croissant roll thing on the counter, and that's what you heard.
Is that
Oh,
what that scream was?
Yep,
was that the croissants or her?
that was her.
Okay.
I wondered if the ghost got to her.
Nope.
Damn ghost.
We will find
okay.
the what?
Thomas would be like, "Oh, would you look at that? They're nearby, actually," and he'll wave them over. You guys will. I think you guys will approach. Also, just for the sake
I
of chat,
don't see why not.
Also, just for the sake of chat, I am going to put an overlay up here. The only overlay we have is for Cardin, sad face, but we don't have artwork of Xenos yet. It's a work in progress. It's coming, we promise. Bear with us. Anyway, so for right now, you guys get an image of Cardin. Just know that it's not Cardin.
Yeah. And for your above game knowledge, as far as like description wise, it's if you're an MTG player, it almost looks like Soren Markov. Like that sort of vibe. Just for any audience people, if I didn't describe that well enough.
I can let's see.
So whether or not you believe yourself to be great, clearly you are renowned at the very least. Everybody here knows of you.
That's not what I wanted to do.
I would say that
There you
news
go.
of my exploits have been slightly overly exaggerated.
Here, like you can see him.
Breath of fresh air compared to the last guy we traveled with. He had a lot of exploits, but it was hard to tell how many were factual and how many he over-exaggerated. Although he was kind of like... He was a walking arsenal, though.
That would always be handy to have around.
Agreed, and unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, we parted ways because he felt a calling towards another cause.
As one does. Sometimes the best causes are not the immediate ones of those around you.
I guess in a way, even though we parted from each other, his goals do somewhat line up with ours. We are all trying to protect this world, after all.
Yes. That is a worthy goal. I have only been protecting the people here. Sort of... I've been going on adventures to find the people who... Well, let's put it this way. Are a danger to others. Less fortunate beings than us.
Oh, really? Well, isn't that very convenient, then? Because we happen to have a real thorn in our sides of a person who really needs to be put down before he destroys an entire island.
So, if he can destroy an island, is he a mage?
He has access to them.
You would also remember that he does have, oh shit, you're right. You would also remember that he does have access to some
Yes, but
spells.
specifications. Mage is different to magic user.
True.
Yeah.
He has access to some, we believe. But he has a patron. And we're worried about...
I would say he is a usurper, because he kind of came in under the radar and undermined the political system and made everybody into his comrades, and now he's taking over the entire city. And if he's not stopped, he'll move on to the entire world next.
Well, that sounds like a interesting proposition. Does it pay?
Does it pay?
Does it
Well,
pay?
we have found quite a few treasures.
Blood, sweat, tears, experience, and the camaraderie of others. If we happen to find treasures along the way, that's just an extra benefit.
Yes, one does.
I mean, after all, our previous companion found several pieces of a legendary weapon.
He's probably never going to find the rest of them either.
I mean, we'll keep those pieces around for our friend.
Oh, of course.
He kept Cloud Splitter.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's what
He
we're
would
saying.
have those pieces.
We're going to look for the rest of them for Cardin, is what we're saying.
Oh, okay.
If they happen to be along the way.
Yes. Okay. I was making sure you weren't like, oh, we have the rest of Cloud Splitter. No. But
No,
Oh.
never said anything like that.
Xenos he'll seem to ponder a moment. And he will. I really need to get a better Russian accent.
Sounds more German to me.
It honestly sounds like you're going full vampire Romanian.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that works better, I guess. That's sort of the vibe we're going for here. But
I just take it that based on the large creature that you dragged in here, you're constantly looking for a challenge, and it seems like you've reached a dead end, and you could use something with a little more thrill.
I haven't really found the different like the odd challenging things around here, but I feel like there is something bigger that I could be hunting.
How does it not sound?
Deanoch will lean in and say, "How about the apostle to an evil god?"
Oops, ignore that.
Xenos is actually going to roll insight on Deanoch because he doesn't know any better.
Hey, off topic, but did you guys know that there's a Roll20 app?
No.
I do now.
Yeah. It's actually quite nice. It's just for the character sheet though. I can't actually see the map on my phone, but
I mean, that definitely helps some people, I will say that.
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually really nice for the character sheet.
Why did that not roll on the extension?
Do you have the extension installed?
I thought I did.
I told you to make sure that you did. Check your extensions. Make sure you have Beyond 20.
I did for other things. So maybe it just wasn't enabled.
What did you roll?
9.
It just continues to be the night of technical difficulties.
What was that? I'm sorry.
9. And
How
she
did
said
you
it
roll
was
a
adding to the
3?
night of. Yeah, it was a 3.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll something just to see if it.
See if it comes through over here.
Oh, I have to roll it on the thing. Okay. There we go. I have to actually press the Beyond 20 button. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. No.
I like how it says Xanos though there.
You've got Xenos and Xanos.
He can fix it later. It's not a big deal, but yeah.
Okay.
So
Can you see what kind of name he likes?
yeah. But yeah, we'll take your original roll of a 9. Sorry. He seems to be honest and truthful with what he's saying.
Yeah. Hunting a assistant to a god, you say?
Apostle.
Apostle.
I mean, they can't help it because it's coming through Blind's mic.
Oh.
Oops. Sorry.
How does this work?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Okay. But we think this will be a worthy cause.
I can certainly inform you that he's no pushover. He killed me once.
That doesn't seem hard to do. But
I'm just gonna say, because like Katya's like what, 130 pounds soaking wet.
Depending on current form.
I'll have you know, between Dinok and I, we comprise some of the most powerful magic casters this world has ever seen.
well, in that case, this might prove to be a challenge. I will help you. This is where my family is laid to rest, but it's not like I spend much time here in the Chimera anyways. In the Chimera Outpost anyways.
Well, I could certainly use someone of your talents around since our previous guy left.
Yes. Yes, I will. I will help you. And I might even be able to find something better than this piece of shit. He, like, points to his generic silvered longsword.
Oh, for sure. Traveling with us, there's no shortage of surprises.
And
Real quick clarification. It's probably not an actual longsword because you wouldn't be as adept with a longsword as you would something else. I did advise you to change that out.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you'll let me change that out for a rapier or not.
Yeah.
Because I was going to take rapier. Okay.
Yeah, so just, you know...
I'll change it out.
Yeah, substitute the word longsword for rapier, and that's the same thing. Or you could do a short sword if you would rather have a bladed weapon rather than a pointy thing.
I think the pointy stabby is the best option for me at the moment. Plus, it fits him a little bit better.
Okay. No worries. Just like I said on your character sheet, change that out.
Rapiers do have a blade.
Yeah.
Rapier, classical rapier. Technically, classical rapiers from the Renaissance period have blades. The only things that we consider a rapier now are the ones that we have seen in a fucking Princess Bride. So, which are just
still carrying the accents.
which are just like epee or epee. So,
Epes? Yeah.
So, yes, he has a rapier.
Okay.
So like the rapier that you would find in Soul Calibur. No?
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably closer.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't
Raphael?
Jesus, what?
Is also being haunted again? I mean,
She fell on
Archer?
the couch.
no, she was pushed into the couch by the ghost.
The couch pushed me!
It's taking revenge for selling it.
It's not this one I'm selling!
Oh. Anyway.
It's jealous.
Yeah. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Well, I suppose we would.
I will join
Ask-
you.
I suppose we would ask our new friend.
You assume he's a friend.
I did say I would join them.
Anyways,
What did you want to ask him, Rom?
ask our new friend if there was any there was an inn that we could rest for the afternoon, evening, night, and then we could explore the outpost in the morning, see if there's any interesting goods for sale that we have not seen yet before, and
Preparations for the road, yes. I would love to have an actual bed tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah,
As much as sleeping on a bedroll on bedrock is nice.
So you're not gonna believe me, but I forgot to name an inn for this for the outpost.
Okay, I'll name it. It's the Sleepy Peepers.
No, absolutely not.
He didn't do a nap map, and then he forgets to name the inn. You're off your game tonight.
To be fair, I had a lot of other potential things in my head of what was going to happen tonight, and I was preparing for all of those possibilities. And
then a damn dog went and tore up your room.
What happened with the dogs?
and then
we did this.
And then we did this exactly.
The one thing you didn't plan for.
Which is the answer was nothing.
What other things were you planning for?
I'll tell
He
you.
wasn't planning. He wasn't planning for the talk between you and Asta to take almost 40 minutes.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That was
But actually take that long.
that was character development.
For her,
fine.
yes.
I honestly would quite literally rather have that than anything else that I had originally planned. So don't
The parallel caverns.
Let's see. This is so this would hold on, I want to see something now. Give me one moment. But yeah, like I was saying, I would much rather have that kind of interaction than anything else that I had planned. That kind of interaction between characters is so valuable, and it's great. I love seeing that and hearing it.
The majority of the bonding moments takes place off camera when we're, when we're traveling, 8 hours a day. We're talking as we walk, but most of the time the audience and the players don't even get to experience that.
Sometimes the actual players don't get to either.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was thinking. My brain stopped. But what did you say?
Who?
You.
I said a lot of the time, most of our bonding moments between party members actually happens on the road when we're talking to each other during our 8 hours of travel time a day, or when we're making camp and all that. But the majority of that, since we don't have the time for that, the players and the viewers miss out on it. We just know it happens off camera.
Sometimes it does, yeah. But there are times like what happened today that happening on camera is important.
Yes.
So
it's story building.
Yeah. So Xenos, the inn that you frequent, it would be called the Fang and Flame Inn. And the reason why you visit there often is because they do have a small fighting pit that can be utilized during an individual's stay.
Ooh. Okay. So I would say that we would go to
Echo.
You'll have to Blind will have to. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, we would go to the thing. It provides entertainment, and it has good food.
Entertainment.
And as he's talking, like, you can tell that Xenos is breathing, but that it doesn't really seem like he has to.
It's
Interesting.
It's almost like he's making himself breathe.
like you'll catch it at times like where he's like not breathing, and then he'll see you look at him, and he'll be like, "Oh right."
Yeah.
That's a bit odd. Okay.
It is essential to the character.
Okay. If that's how character building works, maybe I'll try not breathing once.
Also, I almost said Carden. Xenos, if any of the other members of your new party decide that the Thing in Flame is too rough and tumble, there is a more low-key inn known as the Woolen Comfort.
Aw.
I would give them that option, but I would highly recommend the Flaming Fang.
So I will ask.
Deanoch will turn to Katya and be like, with fighting pits, how many shirtless men would be in there?
Oh. Now I'm kind of torn. Like, I'm not usually interested in fighting pits, but when you put it that way, I can always cheer on the competitors.
Try the inn one night.
It is also pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure.
It's also what?
DM, would I know if this place is fairly cheap or not?
I'm not worried about cost.
You yourself, no, because whenever you come, you're only here for a day or two, so they provide you a room for free. Having you stay is actually kind of like a really, really cool nuance for them. The fact that you like to frequent this tavern.
You're an influencer for this tavern.
Yeah, pretty much. The fact that you like to frequent this tavern is basically like
free advertising.
Yeah, it like tonight this bar will probably be packed.
Yeah.
So
there'll be a lot of eye candy.
Fighting pit or something going on, you might either judge or compete sometimes, depending on the people there.
Yeah, fair enough. So it sounds like you guys are going to the Fang and Flame Inn.
When you put it that way, oh yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Then, as you guys head to the end, we'll go ahead and end the session there for tonight because it is getting late and we did not take a break. That's on me. I kind of lost.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, and we'll pick it up next time. Kind of at the end, getting ready for a long rest. That way, you guys, if you guys wanted to, have the opportunity to partake in the fight pit as well as part of the festivities from Xenos' hunt.
Do they do betting there?
You'll find out, won't you?
Yes, I will.
So, alrighty. With that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it there. So, no real outro, but thanks for your investigation, Rolasta. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out and hanging with us. You guys have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe if you're in the northeast area. This weather is kind of crazy. And we'll see you guys all next week. Good night, all.
Stay frosty.